to share this routine with you because in it I have placed all of my very favorite Pilates preparatory strengthening exercises and beginning Pilates mat exercises. I'm going to lead you through a little bit of Pilates breathing, 3 warm-up exercises, 8 Pilates mat exercises, and then we'll wrap it all up with a couple of really feel-good stretches. So my challenge and my goal for you is to perform this routine as many times per week, daily if possible, for the next month. If you can commit to doing this 4 or 5 or 6 or even 7 times per week, you're going to notice big changes and big improvements in your flexibility and in your strength in as little as 2 weeks. This program is really life-changing. It's body-changing, mind-changing, and life-changing. It's going to make you feel amazing. So, on that note, everything we do should be kept pain-free. And you may wonder what's going to happen at the end of a month. You do these things and you gain some strength and flexibility. You've been a good student. Well, if you are continuing to be an active subscriber to amandascorner.com, then in a month, I'm going to send you my level 2 routine. The level 2 routine will be a bit more intense than what we do today. You'll see some of the exercises we go through today progress, and you'll see some of them disappear and get replaced with more advanced exercises, which you should be ready for at that time. So although the intensity of the level 2 workout will be greater than what we do today, the frequency is going to come down. I'll ask you to perform it 2 or 3 times a week versus 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, as I want you to do with this workout. So let's get started. We're going to turn to the long ways of the mat. If you need the assistance of the hands, they'll come behind your knees or thighs, and you're going to gently round and hollow out through the stomach, articulating through the spine to find your way down to the mat. Once you're there, I want you just to get comfortable. You're going to have your spine comfortable. I want you just to take a couple of cleansing breaths here. So by a cleansing breath, what I want you to do, I want you to inhale and fill the belly up with air. And then exhale, just sigh it out. And as you do that, start to notice the areas of your body making contact with the mat. So just start to feel your body. Feel the weight of your body pressing into the mat. Good. Okay. Engaging the transversus abdominis, I want you to scoop the belly. You're going to gently draw the navel into the spine without flattening the back and squeezing the bottom, just working at the belly. And you're going to place your hands on the bottom of your rib cage. Now as you breathe in, I want you to think about pressing the ribs open to the sides of the room and then exhaling them down together tight into your middle. If you can do this while holding the belly tight, that's preferable. That's where we want to end up. So stomach is held in, you're inhaling the ribs open, you're keeping the belly flat and tight, we're no longer filling it with air. Exhale, bring the ribs together. Let's try 2 more breaths, please. Inhale, through the nose, you'll exhale out through the nose or the mouth. Last time. Good. If that's new to you, it can be a little tricky at first, and it takes time. But I bet by the end of the month, you've got the hang of it. We're going to bring the arms down by your sides. Our first warm-up exercise is rolling the invisible marble. I want you to imagine, visualize that there is a marble placed right on top of your pelvis. It is halfway between your belly button and your pubic bone, and it's just resting there. If you wanted to roll the marble toward your feet, you would lift the back away from the mat and create a slope for that marble to roll down. I want you to perform this on your inhalation. On your exhalation, you will flatten the back, creating your opposite slope so that the marble rolls toward the head. So inhaling, you lift the back away from the mat, roll the marble to the feet. Exhaling, you curl and imprint the spine into the mat as it rolls toward the head. You're going to continue coordinating your breath and the movement of the pelvis. And as you inhale the marble to the feet and exhale the marble towards the head, you are moving with the natural rhythm of your spine. This is how your spine moves when you breathe in a healthy spine. But we're exaggerating it. I want you to take this movement make it as big as you can as long as it's pain-free. So you're going to really explore and discover discover your end range in an anterior pelvic tilt as you roll to your feet, and also in a posterior pelvic tilt as you roll towards your head. So just play with that movement. As you really get the rhythm of this and begin to fill your breath with the movement, it can almost start to feel like a meditation. You can use this exercise not only to center the pelvis, which we're about to do, but to center your emotions and your energy, mental energy, physical energy. As you continue this, I want you to begin to make the movement smaller. So eventually, this movement's going to get so small that an outside observer may not be able to tell which way you're rolling the marble anymore, but you can feel it inside your body. As you do that, you should notice that you can let go of big muscles in your body, like the legs pushing into the floor, the glutes squeezing, the back gripping, and keeping the belly button drawn in towards your backbone, as we did with our breathing exercise. You're going to start to work just at the core. Just a couple more breaths here, please, rolling your marble smaller and smaller until you feel like you're zeroing in on your midline point. You've got to feel your extremes in low back spinal extension and flexion, and now I want you to try to find right in the middle. So hopefully as you do that, you're coming into your Pilates neutral. If you don't have your full range yet and you're lacking, your midpoint may not be your neutral and you'll have to adjust yourself. By neutral, what I mean is that I want the top of your pelvis nice and flat and even here. So if I put a hot beverage or a plate of food, it would be very still and level. But there's still some space underneath your low back. I want you to have a little tunnel there and some room. Great. Okay, we're going to move into our level 1 pistons. So we have our Pilates neutral and we have our stomach engaged. I want you to pull that belly button in like the lap belt of a seat belt tightening around you. You should feel that transverse abdominis muscle drawing in, contracted, and when you find that, that's exactly how I want all of your Pilates exercises to feel. I want them to start from that area deep in the belly. On an inhale, we're going to lift the right leg 90 degrees, and as we exhale, we're going to set it down very gently and softly underneath the foot, as if there were a little candle flame underneath and you don't want to burn your foot. You're going to inhale the left leg up. We come only to 90 degrees so we can maintain a neutral pelvis. And while you perform this exercise, you are keeping the pelvis completely still, as if it were cemented into the ground. So we have no hula hoop hips, we have no mambo dancing, there's no rocking and rolling. You just stay completely still and quiet through the pelvis, inhaling each leg up and exhaling down. In order to stay still through the pelvis, you need to keep the pressure very, very gentle and light underneath the feet, and you need to draw the belly in. Inhaling up, it's as if the stomach, those deep stomach muscles, are raising and lowering the legs. If you press from your big, strong leg muscles, this is going to be extremely easy for you. You're not going to feel anything. I want you to feel this where that seat belt, that lap belt would tighten low across your pelvis. We're going to try one more on each side, please. Inhaling the right leg up, engage the stomach, keep the pelvis quiet. Exhale, lowering down. Last time. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We're going to come right into our knee dropouts. Starting on the right leg for 5 repetitions, you're going to inhale the right knee open. If I were to continue to let the leg fall, sooner or later my pelvis is going to go with it and I'm going to roll to my side. You want to keep this range of motion only to a point where you stay really still and flat across the pelvis. So as we do this, we are working from the opposite side of the belly. My left stomach, the left side of my stomach, is lowering the right leg and then pulling it back up again. I'm not pushing underneath my foot. I have very light pressure there. I like to imagine a string coming from the front of my left hip here, this bony part, your ASIS bone, attached from the bony part of the left side of the hip all the way to the right knee. So this string is controlling the lowering of the knee and then the lifting. lifting of the knee. Let's try one more repetition, please. Inhaling, open on the right side. Drawing the belly in nice and tight and using the left side of the belly to lift the leg. We switch to the other side. Inhaling, open. Exhale, pulling up and in. As you get stronger with the knee dropouts, you may find that your range increases and grows. But you also may find that the movement becomes more fluid and smooth. Sometimes when we begin this, we have some jerkiness and some shaking through the leg. And that's normal. That's just a sign that it's an area where you need some work. It's also very typical for one side to be easier than the other, and that just demonstrates an imbalance of strength from the right to left sides of the stomach. That will begin to even and balance out as you work through this routine daily. Great. That is our 3 warm-up exercises, rolling the invisible marble, level 1 pistons, and our knee dropouts. So now we're going to start our Pilates mat exercises. You should be really comfortable here and you're neutral with a tight tummy. We're going to start with the 100. And I want you, just like you're going to perform a piston with control, you're going to bring the leg up 90 degrees and the other one's going to match it. Nice and tight. I want the legs parallel and I want them squeezing together. So we're going to keep them in a tabletop position, but if you're not feeling the stomach engaged, just move them slightly away from you until you feel that low belly draw in. I want you neutral. I don't want you to arch further away as you move the legs. If that happens, readjust yourself, bring the knees in closer. We will be lifting the head to gaze at the belly with this exercise. If the neck feels strained, lay the head down or bring a hand behind the head to gently support it. If you think about drawing the head up from the upper abdominals, that will ease strain and pressure off of the neck. Our arms reach long away, fingertips reaching across the room, and we will pump the arms. We're going to begin an inhale for 5 counts and an exhale for 5, starting now. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. Hollow out the stomach. Go ahead and squeeze those legs together. Let the inner thighs grip together. The knees and the ankles. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoulders are pulling down long from the ears. Two more. Last exhale for 5 counts, and then I want you to draw the knees into the chest. Good job. Now you should be nice and warm through the body. You can rock this side to side. Sometimes it feels nice to draw little bitty circles. You can just warm up the hips and release and massage out the low spine. From here, we're going to come into the roll-up. So we'll take the legs long out in front, and I want you to connect the heels together in a small V. So we have a narrow turnout here. This is our Pilates style stance. I want you to imagine a zipper from your ankles, your inner ankles, straight up through the insides of the calves, the knees, the thighs, lifting through pelvic floor, drawing up through belly, straight up to out the crown of the head. You're just zipping up the whole front of the body here. If you need to modify this, you will come up with bent knees and come back down with bent knees. So I will show you that variation on the first repetition, and then I'll come back to the full version. Arms will lift overhead to a point where you can keep contact with the shoulder blades. We do not want to flop and flail the rib cage. The torso stays contained and controlled. Our arms lift. We inhale chin to chest. You can bend the knees if you need to. You can even grab behind for assistance. You will straighten them out as you're able to. And I want you to reach out the ball of the foot here. You're going to round over and hollow out the stomach. Then to roll back down, you take a full breath. If you need to, you bend the knees. Help yourself back down. Straighten the legs long as you can. So now I'm going to keep them straight. We inhale chin to chest. You curl up, draw the stomach back. Exhale forward. And then we're going to come down with a full breath. So we have a full breath up. Full breath down, articulating through the spine. So that was 2 with a demi point. Now I want you to point the toes all the way across the room. Reach those toes long. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale, rounding long over the legs. Find a stretch and then draw it back. It's like somebody's pulling me from behind. My shoulders draw down. I stay zipped chin to chest, and up and over, and then rolling back down, and we're going to readjust. If you have traveled on the mat, or if your pants traveled, sometimes they start to slip, just readjust. We're going to come all the way back down. We're going to keep this left leg bent, the foot planted into the ground. Lift the right leg to 90 degrees and start to straighten it. If you can go all the way straight, great. If you need to keep it bent, that's fine. Do that for now. When you're able to straighten the leg, come straight with me. From here, again, a little bit of a turnout, and you'll grab either behind the thigh or the calf or the ankle, and you're going to stretch the leg in towards you. Try to avoid grabbing right behind the knee joint. That just places undue pressure. We want to be very kind and considerate of our body. So a little bit of a stretch here because we're coming into single leg circles, and it's nice to release the back of the leg before we begin. Okay, so a more beginning level of this exercise is to keep this other opposite side bent. So I will start performing the exercise that way. For a more advanced version, you will lengthen it. So I will show you both ways. Now, you're going to come back into a neutral spine. If you can straighten the leg, I want you to really activate the top of the thigh, the quadricep. Keep your turnout, lengthen the arms. We begin by crossing the body. We draw a small circle on the ceiling with the foot. This becomes much more challenging than our pistons and our knee dropouts because we're challenging the pelvis to stay really still, completely still, and a 3D movement with a nice long lever arm. So that was 5 circles. Now, I'm going to straighten the leg. We're going to reverse directions. So we inhale and we exhale. I'm going to ground down as much as I can through the left side of the stomach, left side of the hip, and I keep the circle small when I'm first starting out. That was 5. We're going to take one more stretch, pull it in. So if you tried both variations, then you'll know for the second side if you'd like to keep the other leg bent or lengthen it down on the mat. We're going to bend the knee and stretch the leg long. Bend the knee to come in, lift up. So again, you can have this leg bent, foot planted. We're going to turn out and then draw the leg into the body. I'm performing these with a demi point, so it's almost like this pad underneath my big toe, okay? Part of our tripod that we stand on our foot. That's going to be a paintbrush. That's what's going to paint the circle on the ceiling. So, finding neutral, grounding down, tight through my leg, very active. I'm going to inhale across the body, exhale to circle up and around. As this becomes easy and you're staying really still for your pelvis, go ahead and make the circle a little bigger. Challenge yourself. That was 5. I'll take the leg out, inhale, open, exhale, up and around. Grounding down through the pelvis. Hug the leg in. Always want to work in a stretch when we can. We're going to bend the knee, draw the leg down and in. We're going to perform a partial roll-up as a transition to come to a seated position. We're going to inhale chin to chest. If you're not able to do this, you can always roll to your side and press yourself up. And then instead of rolling back down, we're going to stack up like we're coming up against a wall. I love to throw in exercises as transitions. Whenever we can do that, just gets us stronger. Okay, we scoot our seat to our feet. This is rolling like a ball or rolling back. Hands come to the outsides of the ankle. You round out the spine, and then you're going to find your balance on your tailbone. So my knees are narrow here. They're in line with my shoulders. And if you can tell, my feet are not touching the ground. I've got balance, so right away, I'm really drawing in this stomach. If this is enough work, you stay here and you breathe. To add on, you inhale back, rolling only to the mid-back, and exhale up, keeping all pressure off of the neck, and trying to find that balance again when you come up. This can be really tricky. Try not to take it too seriously. Have a little fun with it. And once you get the hang of it, it feels great on your back. It's a little massage. Last one, we're going to inhale it back, exhale up, and just hold it. Hold, 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 hold. Nice and tight. Relax. We're going to scoot back a little bit and roll down. If you don't need hands behind the legs, keep them right next to you. We're coming now into the first 2 exercises of a series of 5 that's called the stomach series because it really targets the belly. So we'll be performing single leg stretch and double leg stretch We'll come down for a break in between the two. We're going to bring the right knee up and in towards the chest. The left hand crosses below the knee, but comes all the way around to help keep our knee drawn into midline. And then the right hand comes to the outside of the ankle. Just like with the 100, we're going to lift up, but you're going to lift from that upper belly. We're going to stretch the opposite leg longer across the room. If you're just starting out, you might want to take it high to the ceiling. That's fine. You're going to let the back stay flat into the mat. You're going to inhale and pulse it in twice. Exhale, stretch and switch. Inhale and exhale. Last time each way. Rest down, hands to the outsides of the ankle. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Wiggle the jaw if you need to. Just let the face soften. We're going to come up for double leg stretch. I'm going to slide down a little bit. You can stay how you are. I just want to make sure I stay where you can see all of me. So double leg stretch takes a bit of coordination. Our upper and lower body will be working together, but they will not be doing the same thing. The legs are going to shoot straight out and then pull back in. The arms are going to shoot overhead and they will circle around, and we end here. So raising the head, gazing at the stomach, we inhale and stretch out long like a piece of spaghetti, small V in the feet. Exhale, circle around and squeeze it in. Tight, tight tummy. That torso does not move. It doesn't wiggle. Squeeze it in. You can do it. Inhale, press it out. Tight, tight stomach. Squeeze those legs together. Exhale, pull it in. Last 2 repetitions. Inhale, out. Exhale, pull it in. One more. Again, relax down. You can wiggle a little side to side. Very nice job. We're going to roll up from here. Again, using our roll up as our transition. We inhale, chin to chest, coming up long over the legs. And then rounding up, stacking nice and tall. We're going to move into an exercise called the spine stretch forward. You will take your legs slightly wider than the width of your exercise mat. And if you're not on a mat, then certainly you're taking them wider than your shoulders. You want to get your weight even on your sit bones and stack up through the spine. So if you have to bend your knees to get there, that's fine. Just make sure you've got lots of length through the spine. And I want you to imagine that there's a harness dropping down from the heavens above, and it is lifting your head. And it's literally stretching you up to the sky. That's where we want the body. We want our posture extremely, extremely tall, shoulders stacking up over hips. If you can get the legs straight, go ahead and pull the toes back towards you. So you're going to dorsiflex the feet and soften just at the toes. We're going to edge the feet. Okay, it's almost Halloween time here. I want you to imagine you're a little zombie or a mummy. You're going to take the arms straight out in front. As you inhale, you're going to tuck the chin to chest. With the exhale, you're going to round back as if somebody is hugging you from behind. This is called spine stretch. I want a nice C curve. I want you to stretch the neural tissue. You're going to take a full breath to stack up, starting at the base of the spine and lifting like that harness from the heavens is drawing you up taller each time. Inhaling, chin to chest. Exhale, curl and round back. Somebody's pulling you from behind. A nice big bear hug. Inhale and exhale. Teeny, teeny, tiny waist. Suck it in. Everything's funneling into midline. Inhale. Exhale. Drop the shoulders from the ears. And drawing back up. We're going to do one more spine stretch forward. Inhale, chin to chest. Slow and steady. It should be fairly intense. I want you to lift up on this last one, getting longer and taller and leaner. And then maintain the body here and let the arms come down. Keep reaching up out through the crown of the head. This should be a lot of work here, just trying to get that lifted posture. And relax. It should feel good to release out of that. We're going to come down for our last mat exercise. We're going to come into bridge. And we'll do 2 different variations of this. Similar to how we did rolling the marble, we're going to do a version with the back flat and a version where the back never touches the mat. So I'm going to walk my heels in pretty close to my bottom. If I straighten my arms, I can actually touch my heels here. So they're pretty close to me and they're sit bone distance apart. And I want to make sure that you keep the legs parallel. There's tendency as we go through this exercise for the knees to start splaying outward and for the weight to shift to the pinky side of the foot. I don't want you to do that. I want weight even through the feet, like they're suction cupped right down into the mat or into the ground. And then the knees are going to track over the second toe, which everything's pointing straight forward. Arms flat down by your sides. On an exhalation, you will begin to flatten the back and begin to lift the body bone by bone until the weight centers in the mid-back. You're going to keep the pelvis flat across as you hold with your inhale and exhale, move down. It is very, very important that you stay level and steady across the pelvis. That's how we work the core. You prepare with an inhalation, always moving on the exhalation, curling up through the spine. We use the hamstrings and the glutes and the back. And then you'll exhale on your way back down. As you perform these bridge exercises, no pressure should be felt in your neck. The cervical spine should remain long and loose. As you come up, you can check it by gently taking the head side to side. Take an inhale and exhale, melting down bone by bone. I want to try a few more of these. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, hollow out through the stomach. Press the weight through the heels of the feet to deepen the strengthening of the hamstrings. These bridging exercises are phenomenal for stabilizing the sacroiliac joints, the SI joints. They can really help build strength. They help prevent the pelvis from rotating or correct the alignment if the pelvis is rotated. Okay, we're just going to do one more. I've lost count, but we're going to do one more. We're going to exhale and peel up, rolling through a flat back so we articulate the spine into flexion. We hold the top with an inhale, and then we soften down bone by bone, evenly, staying straight across the pelvis. So we're going to change this. We're going to bridge again, but this time you will not articulate the spine. In fact, the low back, your lumbar spine, will never make contact with the mat. You're going to lift like you're hinging like a board. We're also going to reverse the breath. We're going to inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. There'll be no hold at the top. You're going to really feel this, or you should really feel this, through the hamstrings and especially up where they meet your derriere. So on your inhale, you're going to push straight up. Again, the weight comes to the mid-back. There's no weight on the neck. You exhale down. That tailbone and pubic bone lead. So again, the low back never flattens. Legs stay parallel and even. Inhale, push and squeeze it up. Use the hamstrings, use your tush. Exhale down. Inhale, press it up. This is really good for giving that nice lift of the backside, in addition to stabilizing the pelvis and promoting good posture and good alignment. Keep going. Inhale, squeeze it up, staying straight across through those front hip bones. Nice and even. Draw the tummy in tightly. Inhale, push it up. Exhale, lower down. We've got 2 more repetitions. Inhale, push and squeeze. Nice, strong backside. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but my puppy has something to say about this. She is barking up a storm. Good. Come down, relax. Now it's time to stretch. So one more roll up to transition. We're going to inhale, chin to chest. We're going to come up and over the legs, which should be a nice stretch for the low back and the backs and the thighs. We're going to lift up. We're going to come into a cat-cow stretch. So we're going to turn over onto all fours. What I want you to do is to line your shoulders over the wrist, your hips over your knees, and you're going to spread wide through your hands and fingers. So it's like little Spider-Man hands. I want you to spread through the fingers, and again, like you have little suction cups underneath them, you're going to press weight evenly, especially through the thenar eminence by the thumb. We tend to want to lift there when we come to quadruped or hands and knees. So press down, soften the elbows. As you breathe in, you're going to look up in front and let the sit bones rise. Shoulders come down long from the ears. And as you breathe out, you'll press into the hands, drop the head, and round out the spine. So we inhale, looking up, let the sit bones rise. We're kind of coming full circle. into the feet. We're just doing it in a different posture. You should be able to stretch out the abdominals, release the spine, inhale up. Exhale, press really round, hollow up through the stomach. Press those hands into the ground to help round the thoracic spine. Once more, inhale, looking up, sit bones reach up and behind. Exhale, curl and round, the head just dangles. And then we're going to come into more of a neutral spine here, like a tabletop position with a flat back. Bring the toes together and separate the knees to the width of your mat. You're going to sit back onto the heels as long as that's okay for your knees. Stretch the arms out and rest the forehead down. So we are in a wide-legged child's pose. I want you to stretch those arms, keep lifting the belly, and just take a couple of nice breaths here, filling the ribs up, breathing laterally and breathing posteriorly, so you're filling up the space in the back and out to the sides of the room. And as you exhale, everything draws down into the center of the body. Nice deep inhale, filling up the space around your rib cage. Exhale, releasing into center. From here, we're going to lift the head. We're just going to walk over to one side so we can get a nice long side stretch. You're going to sit back, heavy on the heels, relax the head down. You might feel the stretch come up into the arm, into the armpit, down the side body. But you're bowing through your side. And really think about sending the breath like you're trying to expand that side body. This is really important for when we get into more oblique work. It's also important to keep the sides stretched to eliminate love handles and to improve posture. And it just feels great. Feels good to stretch at the end of a workout and release tension. Helps us to unwind. It helps to prevent injury. Hold and breathe. And when we become more free in our bodies, when we improve our ranges of movement, not only will we be more comfortable in our bodies, but we'll be more graceful. We'll feel like we can move more beautifully through life. And I think we all want that. Come back to center. We're going to come up and out. And you did it! Great job! I'm really proud of you for making it through this routine. Now your job is to do it again and again and again and again and again. And you, as long as you keep it pain-free, you're not going to overdo it. You won't hurt yourself if you do this daily because they're very therapeutic exercises. You can repeat them daily for a month, and then hopefully I will see you in a month and my level 2 routine. Thanks. Great job. Bye-bye.